तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति भूरिदा जनाः. Let us resume our spiritual discourses of Sri Ramakrishna among his intimate devotees. Sri Ramakrishna was instructing his intimate devotee Mandalal Sarkar through Mandranath Gupta, the recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the significance of the incarnation of God. Mandalal Sarkar was a famous physician. He opted homeopathy physician, the job of homeopathy physician, and was a treating doctor of Sri Ramakrishna Prabhu's throat cancer. During the course of treatment, he became an ardent devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. He noticed that among the intimate devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, some used to proclaim that Sri Ramakrishna was no other than the incarnation of God Himself. That was their belief, which they used to recount among themselves. This Mandalal Sarkar objected. He said that God is supreme, He is infinite, He cannot condense Himself in a small, tiny human form. He wouldn't believe. But then Sri Ramakrishna would insist that the theory of incarnation of God be communicated to him for his own benefit. Now the question has been asked that the incarnations of God as recorded in our scriptures mention of 10 principal incarnations of God, Dasha Avatar. And then there is a mention of 24 Avatar, 24 incarnations of God. And there are also mention of innumerable incarnations. So these are the various descriptions we receive in our scriptures. The question has been asked that most of these incarnations of God, which are recorded in our Puranas, are prehistoric. They scanty any proof of their arrival, and the social system has also changed. Now, what is the big benefit of discussing these prehistoric incidents in modern times? That has been a question by the modern mind. Avatar Tattva ki charcha ka prayojaniyata, the necessity and relevance of the discussion of Avatar Tattva. We have discussed the details of the 10 avatars in our past discussions. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nishinga Adi. Most of them are prehistoric and based on our firm faith and belief, not on data. There is no data about the incarnation of Nishinga Avatar or Brahman Avatar, etc. Even the incidents of Rama, Krishna, Buddha, etc. are having the various heads of doubt. So in view of that, Sri Ramakrishna says that there is a benefit of the discussion of these incarnations of God. It is not an irrelevant discussion. It is necessary for our spiritual unfoldment, as has been mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna says there, Janma karma chame divyam jomam betvi tattvataha tvaktva deha punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. You are all aspiring to become free. None of us are free. We are not bound. Bound by what? Bound by the chain of birth and death. Whatever may be your qualification, your achievement, whether you know it or not, you acknowledge it or not, it is more than certain that all of us will die someday. You cannot stop it. And more interesting is this, that after death we do not vanish. हम लोग कोई गायब नहीं हो जाते हैं. We remain and we are born again. As has been said in the Bhagavad Gita, जातस्य ही ध्रुवो मृत्युः. The person who is born, his mrityu is dhruva. It has to done, inevitable. Every human being who is born must die someday or other. I think none of us object to this fact. But the following part of the verse is questionable. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Those who die must be born again. Now, why is it so? This is scientifically established by saying that whatever we do, we are responsible for the fruits. He who sows must reap. जो बोएगा वो उगेगा. There is no escapism in this world. You do some good deeds, you reap the good harvest. Do some bad deeds, you have to reap the fruits of that bad action also. There is no way out. Swami Vivekananda says in his famous poem, Song of the Sannyasin, good, good, bad, bad, and none escape the law. It's a law. If you do good works, you will reap good fruits. If you do bad works, you will reap bad fruits. Foolish are those who say that let us make some sinful activities and suicide. Suicidal is not the extinction of our existence. It's a continuation of our existence in some other form. Breaking the jail is not freedom. Even convicted criminal who's put under bars, if he thinks if I somehow can get away, break the jail, then I'll be free forever. No. He'll be caught again, put the punishment for his old mistakes and another punishment for breaking the jail. That's why in our scripture it is said that committing suicide is one of the greatest sin in earth. That is not the way of escapism. So we are bound by this cycle of death and birth. इस जंजीर में हम लोग सब फंस गए. Now naturally there is a intelligent people who want to come out. Those who are intelligent, they are seeking some solution for this unending law of birth and death. So scriptures have a lot of suggestions. One of the easiest suggestion is this: if one can study the philosophy of the incarnation of birth, God, then he is escaped. Jomam beti tattva taktva deha punarjanma. After giving up this body, he is not born again. So that is the importance, that is the relevance of this discussion, avatar tattva. Now we have already discussed about 9 avatars, ending with Bhagavan Buddha in our last Sunday class. The last and the 10th of this series of 10 avatars is Kalki avatar. The Purana, Kalki Purana, where it develops the details of the forthcoming last avatar. It is a wonder in our scriptures that in the scriptures they are foretelling what is to happen in future. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam is a scripture where in Dwapar Yuga the mention of Kalki avatar is there. It is mentioned already that this is going to happen. Time frame is also specified. Now, what is each advent of the avatar has the same reason. Why do they come again and again? And he promises in the Bhagavad Gita that I will go on watching the working of this world from above, as a witness, as an invisible witness. God is running the show. But when the management becomes almost out of hands, then he himself has to appear as a human being to set things right. That is called Dharma Sansthapanartha. So for arrival of the incarnation of God, some conditions, prerequisites are there. What are they? Jada jada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthana madharmasam tadadmanam srijamyaham. Whenever there is a surge of vice and neglect of the virtue, whenever the virtue subsides, धर्म का ग्लानि पहुंच जाता है. And abhyuthanam adharmasya, and there is vice, virtue gets subsided, vice becomes dominant. Then I descend on this earth to set things right. That is the main thing. And what is the purpose? There are 3 major purposes given. To save the good people, saintly people, those who are harassed and tortured by these demoniacal natured people of this age. So the first point is this: in order to destroy these unholy persons, my advent is necessary. Paritrana sadhuna vinasha dushkitam, to save the good ones, good people, good natured people, the monks and devoted people, and to crush the sinful activity, crush the sinners and all the bad elements of this world. And thirdly, dharma sansthapan. Then he sets up a method by which the next generation can carry forward without any difficulty. The 3 things are supposed to be done. Which he does in every incarnation of God. Now, when we analyze and discuss these things, then we become purified. That is our benefit. So here Sri Ramakrishna says that Kalki is one such avatar who is due to come. He has not yet arrived. Due to come after fulfillment of some the environmental problems. समय होने पर वो अवतरण होगा. उसका समय का क्या लक्षण है? How will he know that his time of arrival has become almost ready? In short, he says that the people will become unrighteous. People would come here and they should be spending their time in the honest solitude of life. There should be serious participation. Then only the goal is guaranteed. So first it has been said that the incarnation of God comes to help people to reach their divine nature. God becomes man so that man may become God. हमें साधु बनने के लिए भगवान का अवतीर्ण होना जरूरी. Sadhu does not mean that you wear a geru and get away. Sadhu means your nature should be good. Good-natured person who is honest and who has always a positive thinking. Sakaratmak soch, then purity, and then attitude of helping others. These are the divine noble qualities. To inculcate such that idea among our youth, we have invited that this point has to be delivered properly so that we can get this knowledge implemented in our life. That is important. That's why Sri Ramakrishna is insisting that we narrate the theory of incarnation of God to Mahendralal Sarkar. Later on, Mahendralal Sarkar agreed, acknowledged, accepted this doctrine. According to this, the Kalki avatar is due to come. It's very interesting that Kalki avatar's advent is signified by the rise of more and more vices in this world. Already we have got huge number of unholy persons under and means, cheating each other, selfishness, what not. But these are the signs of advent of Kalki. We should not become disheartened. It has been mentioned in our scriptures. What would be the condition of the people? They will be totally debauched. Even the father and son will fight against each other, will kill each other for the procurement of wealth, for name and fame. The whole world becomes dry and full of sinful activities. Now, in view of this submission, that this is going to happen, and the beginning has already started. Everybody will look around, we find so much of cheating, so much of stealing, so much of selfishness is going around. But these are the signs of the advent of God. We should not be disheartened. That's why it is necessary to study the scriptures. We may become disheartened, that is God not existing, if there is so much of the squalor going on, so much of sin going on, how that living God is allowing it to happen. If we say that God is taking care of us every moment, then in His knowledge, how this is being allowed to happen? We cannot even say the total number of unholy things, uncharitable things are taking off care every day. And what is the way out? Now the way out is that we should concentrate on this golden theory that God is always behind us. As soon as the time ripes, He comes as a human being, thinks it right, and then He takes goodbye. That is the one thing. So what we should do, instead of repenting and wallowing about our present condition, what we should do is constantly remember that our whole world is waiting for the arrival of his Kalki, the roop, which will take up in the subsequently. But now it is necessary to know the last incarnation of God is going to be Kalki. And his description has been said in the Bhagavatam as follows. In Mahabharata, one Parva also, his details have been given. It is a future foretelling that how God is going to appear, where and in which way. About Kalki Avatar, who has not yet arrived. Now there it is said that Kalki Avatar will arrive in a village whose name is Sambhal. Sambhal गांव में उनका आविर्भाव होगा एवं his name would be Vishnu Jasha. Very interesting. The person has not yet born, but his place of birth, his name, everything has been foretold. So here we find that our participation in the whole matter is our allegiance to God. We need not worry how the world will run. He knows it much better. God is the director, is the creator, preserver of this universe. So we must have faith on Him, bharosa hona chahiye. Now here it is mentioned that there is a village in India, its name was Sambhal. Sambhal गांव में उनका आविर्भाव होने वाला है, not yet हुआ. And then what would be the condition in this world? It's much worse than now. Now at least there is some decorum, there will be one decorum. It becomes open for all. Everybody, it becomes cheat, debauch, stealing money. They have all lost the balance. And that's what is mentioned in the scriptures. When we read the scriptures, we thought, it is impossible. It is not possible. When you think of it, meditate me. This has to be properly monitored, that Kalki Avatar is due to come, and whenever we see so much of cheating, so much of distress, so much of mistrust, we need not worry. These are the signs of the arrival of God as Kalki, 10th Avatar. So now before arrival of the incarnation of God, I said that 3 conditions have to be fulfilled. Then only He comes. First is Dharma Glani. The values of life gets compromised. First sign. There is no moral standard. Now as you see around, this is the greatest illustration of this truth here. Now, so this is one thing. Second, those who are saintly persons, they will be tortured, they will be subjected to distress. They cannot stay in the world because of the high ideals of life. So that is one thing. Now, Paritana, Dharma Glani, then the sadhus are subjected to suffering. And Dushkritakari, those are wicked people, God comes to remove them from the mental attitude. They can have a remain as a devotee, but not more than any this situation. Now, one is the dharma glani, and then to save these saintly people, good people, and to punish the bad ones. Fourth and fifth is dharma sansthapan. He re-establishes the dharma, the virtues, which become stale due to the passage of age. So dharma sansthapan, then sadhu ka paritran vinasha dushkitam. This is the purpose for the advent of God. And he is supposed to come in Sambhal Gram, and by the name is Vishnu Jasha, with a white horse. He would have a white horse. Now, this a white horse, hiding himself, he made all the hospital, all the institutions, everything. He will ransack. Wherever there is this rise of vice, he will set things right. So this condition is that there will be rampant, the virtues will be ruined, compromised, the saintly persons will be tortured, those who are unholy persons, they will be honored. And the dharma or religion gets totally lost. Under these 5 conditions, then God advents, God appears. When these conditions have become mature, fulfilled, as has been done in the past. Now here he comes in Sambhal Gram as a devout Brahmin, and from childhood he has a wonderful that control over his colleagues. And then this Kalki avatar rides on a white horse and roams throughout the world and kills the sinful people and protects the virtuous. That is his journey. After setting things right, he goes back, and then the first cycle comes. So we are governed by 4 cycles: Satya, Treta, Dapar, Kali. Satya Yuga is Krita Yuga, first, where there is only virtue, no vice. धर्म ही धर्म है, धोखाधड़ी नहीं है सत्ययुग में. Everybody speaks the truth. There is joy of happiness and satisfaction. Next is Treta Yuga, when there will be this gradual decline of religious values and surge of non-compromising effect to a certain extent. In Dapar, to some more extent, and in Kali, to the fullest extent. After that, again it goes back to Satya Yuga. Now, interestingly, now it has been said that the advent of Sri Ramakrishna makes a beginning of the Satya Yuga. We all think that Kali Yuga, when Kali Yuga ripens, then that Vishnu avatar comes as Kalki and set things right. But it doesn't get right overnight. It took a long time to come to this stage. We need a similar time to set things right. It cannot be automatic over the night. So all we are supposed to imbibe in our life is to know that such an incarnation is born, is working here towards the emancipation of the good ones and punishment of the bad ones. This is the gist of Kalki Purana, Kalki Avatar. We look forward to his arrival and making things straight. So in the meantime, whoever we are involved, we should try to concentrate on virtuous deeds and avoid sinful activities in life, so that we are not, when Kalki Bhagavan comes, we are not blamed for not doing things properly. So whatever mindset is there, we take off to this attitude that Kalki Avatar is behind us, Bhagavan is always with us, and he will come in the appropriate time to set things right. We need not worry at all. So this Kalki Avatar ends the description of the Avatar. Next we come to a different topic related to this by Sri Ramakrishna, which we will take up in our next Sunday class. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampādrita vigraham vai Ishāvataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tatsat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. If there is any question, you can go ahead, or you can send by email, and if there is nothing, then we can conclude by a mass prayer. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. There is an announcement in the evening at 5:30 there will be a special youth class where we teach guided meditation and we did the works of Swami Vivekananda. Today it will be jointly conducted by Dr. Desmi Soni, who is the Professor of Education in Lucknow University, and she will offer a course on personality development. It is a free of charge course, personality development, a 10 days program, and those who are interested to improve their speaking skill and their personality development, they are welcome to join. So introduction will be given today in our youth class from 5:30 to 6:30 in this auditorium. You are all welcome.